Hi guys, Danny here from Danny's Scrappy Chicks, and I wanted to share with you today the instructions and hints and tips for the layout, the together layout that is featured in our virtual workshop. So you could have pre-purchased the kits, or you can still purchase, so don't stress if you watch this and decide you would like a kit, just let me know. They were $15 for the double page. The key with this was that you had to provide your own white cardstock, and for the double matte, a matching colour. So I've got white and mink here for the pink layout. So there was two versions. So this is the bluish yellow version, and then there was this one, which is the pinks and greys and that bit of purple. So this is the one I'm actually going to do today. So I'll just put that up top. In your kits, if you've got them, you also got instructions including a picture to copy. And then these are the pieces that you will have got. So a bag of little embellishment, some sequins, 2 photo mats. Now I've just taken for the moment, put photo place card holders on here, but you can pre-populate with your photos. My other bit of prep that I've done, I've already put my 3D foam tape on the back because I want to raise them up. You've got some sparkles for later, some little itty bitty gems, and you've got your pre-cut shapes here, and you've got these 2 sections of zip strip. The other bit that you need to pre-prep, just sort these into their colour piles. I've tried to sort of keep sizes together, so halves and little quarter pieces. And I've gone through, and I'll show you later how I've stuck the butterflies and things together. But you need to cut your backing, your white cardstock, down to 11 3/4. So cut 1/4 inch off one side. And can't get that out. Then rotate and cut 1/2 inch off the second side. Now this is designed so that it's not centered within your backing. So if I bring the mink in here now, when I lay these pieces out, what you're wanting to make sure, so you can see I've got that turned the wrong way. So I want to spin that around, and it's 11 1/2 this way and 11 3/4 this way. And the same when I bring the other piece in. For the moment, don't stick these together, all right? We're gonna start with just one of the white pieces and get all these photo mats out of the way. Use your photo as a guide. What I wanna do here is lay out my other pieces, my patterned pieces, roughly in the way that they are in the picture. Now, keeping in mind that I've only given part pieces for some areas. So if they've gone under a photograph, but it didn't cover, like more than about half was showing, then I didn't actually give you the full piece. So just be aware of that. The other thing too that you want to play with, and this will be the bit that you'll need to play with the most, is work out which pieces match up with what. So this is my piece that matches with that, so that's going to be on the other side of this layout. So, no, I've mushed this up already. Which one does that match with? Maybe it matches with this one and I've just turned it the wrong way. Yes, okay, good. So keep those ones that need to be matchy-matchy on that edge together. The same when it comes to these little corner pieces. So don't worry about your patterns too much. You can rotate them round, do things with them. I'm missing a corner piece. There we go. All right, so I know there's another pink corner piece that's going to be there on the other side of that, so I'm going to make sure they all match up. The greys don't matter, so they'll be fine as they are. And where the rest of them, I am just picking, and don't get, as I said, too stressed about your orientation. This needs to be a full one. This one here is going to be a half, so that's fine. We're going to have another half of grey. This that goes under the edge of the photo is a half. This is a half on this edge. There's a full one in there. Don't get too stressed at this point thinking, oh my gosh, how are they all going to fit, and you're going to make it work. The biggest tip to know is that we're going to start from the top of the layout and work our way down. The corner one is the easiest to put in. So put some adhesive on and stick that into your layout. The next thing we want to do is I want to just move this one up, and there's only going to be a tiny little gap in between these pieces, and I want to stick this one next. So I'm using our Tombow tape runner. I just really like it. That's my personal choice, but by all means use whatever you like. Now you can see here, I'm going to butt this one up in. Now these full-size pieces, there isn't a right side or a wrong side, so to speak. They are the same, so it doesn't matter which way you turn them, they're going to be the same direction. And the thing to know about this is nothing needs to be perfect. All right? The top two corners are the ones that do match up the closest the same. And if you feel like, oops, they're too close together or too far out, so maybe I've put a bit too much of a gap here between these ones, could have shifted them that way a little bit, I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to stick this next row down very quickly to show you. So once these ones, this is stuck in place, I can then start working my way down here. And so I found personally I did the top rows, then I started down the sides because they were the next easy ones that you sort of line up, and you might just need to tweak it a little bit. So if you wish to, choose a very repositionable glue if you like, or adhesive. I'm not too stressed about it. I don't mind those imperfections. So always make sure when you're doing this, this is your 11.5 length this way, 11 3/4 this way. Now, this is the bit, and this is why we haven't stuck it all together. You'll see that this corner piece here comes off the edge of your layout. That is what we want. All right, it's not going to matter because I actually want to have my spacing between the ones at the top coming down correct. So I will then go across and backfill this. So I would line this one up. I'll stick that one down now to show you. Yep. And then I'm going to match this one up. So again, it's going to pop off the edge of my layout. Now with our cardstock pieces, guys, don't forget they are double-sided, so one side is darker or lighter than the other, so choose your side. And unless you want differences throughout your layout, try and keep them the same. So I would keep going along. Now there deliberately isn't another half piece here, all right? And there isn't a corner piece here. So don't get too stressed about that. Now let's pretend I've stuck all those down. And you at the end will turn over and you're just going to trim these pieces off. All right, so we'll trim those off. Now, when we come to doing the other side, you want to have your pieces side by side with each other. And again, you're going to lay them out. And this is why you want those patterns matching in these half pieces on here. All right, so you're going to lay all of those out. And again, this bottom piece is going to pop off the edge. And so you're backfilling with all your little pieces. Now, any of these pieces, so this is a half piece, all right, that one there. And you'll notice I'll just take a bit of a guess because it's not going to matter if it's not exactly the way it should be, all right, because the photo placemat is going to go over that, all right. And so I would be positioning that once I've got all these stuck down. So pretend I've stuck these down, guys. All right. That one goes in there. Pretend I've stuck these down. So suddenly you're not going to see if it's a little bit disjointed. There's another part one off here. And I've done this one when I stuck it down the same. So I've tried to keep that gap off the edge so that it looks uniform across the page. Now, when it comes to your embellishments, you've got your little zip strip pieces. Yours might differ to mine because it just depended on what you got in your kit. The longer piece goes on the left-hand side under the 5x7 photograph. So if I had that sitting over there, it is the same. All right. This shorter piece, I've just tucked in under this edge. You've got in your little die cuts some leaves, all right? I just stuck one in under here, and I pre-stuck the two hearts together, the yellow and the white heart. So big white heart, a smaller like a slightly smaller yellow heart. I've stuck those together. I've raised mine up on foam tape in my good one. And in your little packet of sequins, you've got heaps of sequins in there. Now, my trick for sequins, I love to use our glue dots. Sorry, I don't have the box here. I should have brought the box. And I use my tweezers. So grab out my sequin. I'm then going to place my sequin onto my glue dot. I peel it back off with the tweezers, and then I stick it down. So all my sequins on the layout in various places have been done like that. Now, when it comes to the butterflies, just bend up the little edge. So the big one has the black overlay on top. The small butterflies actually has the yellow overlay on top. So I've pre-glued this one already. And I want to be putting a bit of glue or adhesive, whichever you prefer, in the middle there, okay? And when I'm attaching it to my page, I've attached it with foam tape, and I've left this black deliberately loose so that it can have a little bit more dimension. This is where your glitter gems come in, guys, your little itty bitty sparkles. Again, I've used my tweezers, and I've just run the gems all down his body. And I gave you 5 because if you space them closer together, you'll get the 5 in. If you haven't, doesn't matter. So he went on with foam tape. I put my other one here. When it comes to the other side and this circle, I have already pre-stuck this, but I used our liquid Tombow adhesive to stick on the So Happy cutout, and then that needs to be attached to your circle, your coloured circle. And that is actually going to tuck in underneath here, okay, under the photo mat. I've then got a full one of these, and this is my dodgy cut, so I'm using that one, but a full one of these here. And then I actually, for this one, I actually cut off the end, don't need the stem, and I just did that, all right, just to give me that shape. And again, adding in your hearts and your little butterflies. Now, one thing I didn't point out with this little butterfly, what I actually did to the butterfly was I put dots to mimic the dots of the big butterfly, but I did it with our journaling pen. It's a well-loved journaling pen. The title's wearing off. You've got the word together cut out for you. So lay that out. My tip for you is to start with the R and work your way backwards. All right. Obviously, you're going to stick that all together. You'll trim off these bits that stick out over the edges. You can then stick it to your Minc cardstock, keeping the inside edge of each page flush with the inside edge of your cardstock. And once it's all stuck together, you end up with something like this. I have given everyone full instructions in the kits, so hopefully that makes sense to you. But if you have any questions or want to know anything, let me know and I'll happily answer them for you. Thanks.